So the Dead Space remake is upon us. Now with less than a month to go when this video is getting released, that begs the question, will anybody remember Callisto Protocol once that comes out, or will Dead Space just kill it altogether? But before we get into that, I wanted to have this discussion because both games have this connection, obviously, whether it's a former director of Dead Space working on Callisto, or because Callisto is basically a spiritual successor to Dead Space, or because these games just come out so close together. I feel like we're in a very unique situation with both of these games, where we get Dead Space so soon after Callisto Protocol. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it gives me a way to talk about Dead Space and Callisto because I'm excited for the Dead Space remake and I want to talk about it before it comes out. And my content is basically Callisto right now, pretty much Callisto Protocol, and we talk about Callisto. But before we discuss all that and get into my opinion, if you like both games and want to see coverage of Dead Space when it releases and Callisto Protocol, the DLC, when that releases, then like and subscribe, and let's just get right into the video. Now, the Dead Space remake is releasing within the next month and has people excited because of what they're actually doing with this remake, and it's completely kind of like new outlook on the game, where it changes gameplay elements like Zero G, or adding rooms to the Ishimura that you can explore that weren't in the original, or even makes the Ishimura fully explorable, apparently. They even add little stuff like they have a system to where if it's too calm for a while and you haven't been attacked for a while, Isaac will just see stuff and random events will happen in the game, which is amazing and insane to really think about. It's basically an intensity meter. It raises the intensity of the game, which I think really adds a new element to the game.
Well, we created this intensity director, which is more than just AI spawner, right? It creates moments for you to freak out, and that's the whole point of it. And it follows you through a intended intensity curve that the level designers place in their levels and modulates it based on where you're at within your mission briefs.
So the Dead Space remake isn't just like a graphics upgrade. It actually is like a overhaul of the graphics and then adds stuff on top of that to gameplay that makes it just a really justifiable remake. And I know a lot of people are excited to see what it actually adds and keeps the same and how faithful it is and whatever happens, but it's not no like Last of Us Part 1 where they're just, oh well, here's just a graphics upgrade and it's like 95% the same. No, it's actually adding stuff to the game, which is amazing. But on Callisto's side, you do have the DLC coming out, which you have the free update with the New Game Plus and the Hardcore mode coming out in February. And then you have all the Season Pass DLC, paid DLC, or whatever after that. So the question I wanted to ask is, when Dead Space releases, will it basically just will it make people just forget about Callisto Protocol? Will people just forget? Will it be over? People have already been talking about it. People have already been saying, well, because Callisto Protocol was so bad, it's made me more excited for, Dead Space, or don't worry, this game's bad, we have Dead Space still, or just, you know what, I'm not even gonna worry about Callisto Protocol, it's too late, I'm just excited for Dead Space now. So there's a bunch of people that are just excited for Dead Space and basically have let Callisto kind of just fade away. So I wanted to ask you guys, when the remake comes out, will Callisto even survive? Will it even be a thing anymore? Will it just die, or will people forget about it? And will people really care by the time the Callisto Protocol DLC comes out? And that's what I basically wanted to ask. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Callisto will survive the next couple months or not, and the game will succeed in bringing back players with DLC and everything like that, or not. Now, before I give my opinion, just know I don't hate Callisto Protocol. With the things I'm about to say and even the title of the video, I do not hate Callisto Protocol. I think it has a lot of potential. And if it was up to me, I would have both games succeed. I would have both games flourish. They would coexist and just be very successful, both of them. But unfortunately, I don't really think that's what is going to happen. And also, my opinion that I'm about to give, if it doesn't align with yours, that is fine. We all have different opinions, and I respect that. Now, with that being said, I'm going to try to stay as focused as possible, just give you what I think, my raw thoughts, basically. Now, Callisto Protocol is a rough game. It is a really rough game, and it already kind of lacks content. I mean, it lacks content. The game really kind of doesn't work. The melee system is whatever. It's when you have a game like this that just doesn't really work, and it just it needs all these constant updates, and it just needs all this and stuff like that, and you've already kind of like alienated the fan base. Like, I mean, it's really hard to recover now. This DLC, I really don't know if it'll make the game that crazy. I mean, a survival mode and a new game plus mode and a hardcore mode, and then a survival mode and a customizable difficulty, I really don't know if that can save the game. I don't think so. In the next couple months, we'll be able to tell. Now, with Dead Space, it launching like this, I really think Dead Space is adding actually a lot to the remake. Like, all this gameplay changes where you can explore the Ishimura. The zero-G has been fixed. The extra rooms are being added. The necromorphs look amazing. Everything looks amazing. The only thing that doesn't look that amazing is the Isaac. He looks a little iffy right now, but it's alright. It's alright. Other than that, I mean, I do have my problems with the remake, not just Isaac, but the remake overall looks great, and I feel like it will be great. The graphics alone are amazing. I mean, if they even up the graphics, like, I would have been fine with that, but they're adding extra rooms, just adding these extra details that are like, apparently there's 400 ways they can raise the intensity with that system that I talked about earlier. There's apparently all this stuff to gameplay, so it's like they're adding all this stuff, and I feel like it's gonna have more of an emphasis on horror than Callisto will. Now, Callisto is not scary. Callisto, I'm not gonna lie, is not scary. It's just jump scare, and I mean, that was Dead Space. Dead Space was jump scare like that, jump scare heavy, but Callisto is just not scary. Like, I feel like it tries, but it just isn't scary at all. It is just so jump scare heavy that it's like, okay, when's the next jump scare? It doesn't, like, there's only one real part where I'm like, okay, this is kind of tense, like, I'm kind of a little freaked out, but other than that, it's really not scary. I feel like Dead Space will have that more of a scary element, or it will try to go for it at least. So I kind of think that the Dead Space remake will succeed where Callisto Protocol has not, whether it's trying to be scary or just actual gameplay overall. I really feel like Dead Space will try and succeed. Also, I'm telling y'all right now, if Dead Space launches with a new game plus right away, that will not help Callisto's case at all. That will not help Callisto's case at all. If they launch with a new game plus, it is up, because I mean, the new game plus, I feel like should just be in games when it launches, but that'll help Dead Space case, I feel like, in a way too. Also, another thing is, the thing is with Callisto is they don't really like give you a reason to keep playing. Like, that's what I'm saying. There's no new game plus. I've heard that there is nothing for beating the hardest difficulty. There's no like special item that you get or anything like that you get for beating the hardest difficulty, like there is in Dead Space, which I'm sure will be in the remake. I'm sure there will be something that for beating the game that you get if you beat it on the hardest difficulty. So like, that's what I'm talking about, is there's like nothing to keep you coming back in Callisto. So it's like Dead Space has these things that I'm like thinking about. Also, Dead Space has suits. I've seen a couple of them. I'll probably show them on screen right now, but some of these suits that are not in the original are so fun and so like wacky and whatever, and so cool, that I feel like that will add another layer to the game, to where, oh well, I want to play with this suit, I want to play with this suit, blah blah blah. That's what I'm saying, is like Callisto also just has no suits at all either. Like, Callisto has no suits, and that's another thing, is I don't feel like Callisto would add like a super like stupid suit like that. I feel like Callisto kind of takes itself like a little, like, way too seriously compared to Dead Space. Like, Dead Space is like not afraid to have fun with its suits and stuff like that, and it's, you know, it's foam finger and bullshit like that. Like, come on, dude, that's cool. Like, you know, Dead Space can still take itself seriously, but like have shit like that, whereas Callisto just doesn't have like anything like that. But yeah, already, I mean, if it has a new game plus and it has multiple suits, like, I could just see playing through the game, oh well, I want to play with this suit because it gives you a different upgrade, it gives you this, it gives you that. Like, dude, there's gonna be way more replayability for Dead Space. Also, let me tell you right now, if Dead Space has a survival mode, if they make a survival mode and if they just add DLC that, you know, just adds to the game as well, like a survival mode, like say they do the same thing as Callisto, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be better in Dead Space than it will Callisto, because I'm telling you, Dead Space will just work, I think, better than Callisto. I think that if that happens, then I definitely think Callisto will just be done. It'll just be over with. Also, the thing is, with if Dead Space launches well, literally, it will literally be over on Callisto, because Callisto, in my opinion, is still trying to play catch up with updates and shit like that, trying to fix the game because it was rushed. So they're still trying to play catch up. That's my point. Is Dead Space, if it launches well and it runs well and it plays well, then it's already got that, because it already has that going for it. Callisto is still trying to play catch up while actually releasing DLC. And I mean, Callisto's DLC could have potential that will maybe bring some people back, but I mean, you've got content in February, March, and then it just says spring, so that could be anytime, and then summer. Like, imagine there's a 2 or 3 month period where Callisto has no DLC. Like, that wait right there will, I swear, it will get to Callisto and it will it will literally kill it. Like, that wait right there, I swear, that 2 month period. But yeah, I mean, I hope both of them can succeed. I mean, if they both succeed, that would be amazing. If we both can just play Callisto and we can play Dead Space and, you know, switch off every month, and then that'll be fun. Whatever, that'll be cool. But I unfortunately don't see it happening. I think Callisto, unfortunately, will get the axe once Dead Space comes out. I think more people will be playing that. Anyways, yeah, Callisto has its fan base. Dead Space has had its fan base, but when that releases, I feel like that is going to be just what it is. Like, Dead Space is going, I feel like, be on top. Now, I'm not trying to like meat ride Dead Space, but I feel like that's how it's gonna go. So, and that's my opinion. It is what it is. I mean, maybe this will lead to good things. Maybe Dead Space, maybe Callisto will get the sequel that we want. Maybe maybe they'll remake Dead Space 2 after that. Maybe, I don't know. But I appreciate y'all for watching. And if you guys do like any Callisto Protocol or Dead Space content, feel free to like and subscribe. I also have a full playthrough of Callisto Protocol if you want to see that. I'm going through the game. I'm literally almost done. I'm on the last chapter. But yeah, appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.